welcome everyone. Hopefully my audio is getting picked up. Sorry, my audio thing went off the side of the screen. Can't see it. Hello. Okay, good. We just set up our Hand of Fate. And so a little bit has changed on my screen and it got me confused. But let's try this again. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Balsamic Games, our Witches of Midnight actual play, supporting our Kickstarter, which is going to start soon. You will see some notifications roll through chat. We are sponsored by Forged Gaming Company. The spinning logo at the exact same time I announced it was perfection, and I can't take claim for that. I will thank you so much for the subscription, the Scytherian.
I just had to pull attention to the fact that it was 13 months.
Wow, yeah, that's what a great
witch's
number.
dozen months.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who didn't know that piece of lore, a lot of people were like, witches dozen? No, that's 12. It's actually 13. There will be a 13th secret sibling involved at some point in the future. So yes, tonight's stream is sponsored by Forged Gaming Company. They have helped us out a ton with previous giveaways. They make some absolutely amazing metal dice, both solid and hollow dice that are really, really cool. And yeah, they've done some giveaways with us in the past. And right now, they are getting ready to Kickstarter their own item. They're working on the Ultimate Game Master's screen, which is a really fantastic modular GM screen. I think it's made of leather or some very leather-like material. It looks really posh. And I will tell you more about it later on in the stream. But feel free to click that link and go get notified when they do open up their Kickstarter. So let us start out by introducing our players and having them let us know a little bit about their characters before we get right into it, because we will be jumping right into the adventure. Let's start with Morningstar.
Well, there's not too much to say to introduce me. I mean, I'm nobody. But my character, Cassandra, no, she's a big deal. She is one of the most traumatized people you can imagine, really. She is so traumatized she does not speak. She does not speak, she barely communicates. And she does everything she can to hide in the background. There's something magical about her seemingly coming to the surface, but as far as she's aware, and as far as everyone has proof of, she's still just a regular mundane girl. And her cat is seemingly just a regular mundane cat, but it's very, very mean.
Indeed. Awesome. Thank you, Bloody Rose White Wolf, for the 14-month subscription. They had to one-up Morningstar today. That's
you know what? I needed a defeat. I've just been winning too much today.
Yes, definitely just a mundane cat, not walking along the bottom of the Hudson River, walking back to shore very slowly and surely, as if they're completely unfazed by the water above them. Let's move to Megan. Oh, Megan is muted. Let's hop on over to Andrea, and we'll come back to Megan.
Yes.
Yeah, I am Andrea. I am playing Jex this evening. She is a seemingly very individualistic punk individual who is I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good way. I don't know. She's a little anti-establishment. That's a good way. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Anti-establishment.
Rebellious.
Yeah. She is a, let's see, a blood fire witch. Meaning that she uses blood to power her magic. She has a vampire bat familiar who is a little gluttonous boy who likes to eat. And yeah, that's Jax and Aiko.
Thank you. And Azaelwyn.
Well, today I am playing Timbo the Himbo, who is just a wonderful Sasquatch siren, and just as odd as you think the combination sounds. Whereas he's big and jovial with wonderful Fabio hair and a wonderful pompadour chest puff, he is probably just your best friend, and he might get you in some bad adventures just because he's just excited for the adventure in general. Sometimes you'll see him riding around on a big old rock of sheep named Baphomet. No reason for the name, no reason that he's real judgmental or nothing like that either. We just roll with it, and you can hear Timbo give big hi-hos and jump into a lot of Leroy Jenkins experiences.
That is the best possible way to put that. I love it. Megan, is your microphone working?
No.
I'm gonna go with no. Morningstar, can you introduce Megan's character?
I don't know that I can introduce Max that effectively, really.
Max
Let me stop next door and
okay, yeah, great idea.
Microphone, but you go ahead with the introduction.
Yeah, Max is a Medusae, but due to some unfortunate things that have happened to the siblings over the years, their sort of magical DNA has been written, overwritten, and rewritten multiple times, hence why we have Timbo the Himbo, the Sasquatch Siren, and Max, the Arcanist Medusa, with geese instead of snakes. So they are a Megusa. And they're an amazing Arcanist. They have some pretty incredible powers of telekinesis, which I think they showed off really well in one of our first couple of sessions. And I think they know some pretty good words of power at this point as well. So, something to look forward to. It looks like that's a no. Yes. As you can probably see in the background there of Megan's thing, they have a Unlonk t-shirt background. Oh, actually, it's just off camera, but they're really, really cool. Yeah, Cassandra was the mute one. We have the weirdest audio issues. They're always different. I don't think we've almost ever had the same audio issue twice.
I know.
Yeah. Seeing as everybody can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and go over the engagement roll, since that is going to be the very first thing we're going to do as soon as we have everything settled. So, to gently recap, the Coven was out on a stolen Red Watch speedboat with a hot dog vendor. Any luck?
Not that we can tell. So they're going to swap to a different machine.
Okay. Yeah, so they bye for now.
Yes, I have a teleporter. I should fly that far.
Oh no.
Oh dear. I've
2
been
morning
defied.
stars.
Cut it in half and double it.
Would you like 1 morning star or double it and give it to the next person?
So many people were fighting over me, they decided it was better just to cut me in half.
Yes.
We could get some.
I
We're
would
going
like to
biblical
see
today.
the baby. Bloody Rose says, don't forget to drink water, eat food, take your meds, and do your laundry. So, yeah. Good thing to do while we wait on this reconnection. How's everybody
Okay,
in
then
chat
hold on.
doing?
I will go do a load of laundry. I'll be back. Comes back on screen folds.
Yeah, how is everybody in chat doing today? Thank you for all the resubscriptions. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you, Jack has NB Envy. We have a number of NBs on our channel. So hopefully you can be envious of all of us.
Goodness, darling, encouraging envy. I didn't know you were a demon like this.
I'm devious. We are a very well, some of us are a very achievable type of envy. I guess not everybody can grow one of these.
No, that it could be very difficult.
Not really a marker of non-binary, though.
I'm so jealous, though. I want a beard.
Nothing's
I
a
feel like
marker of
Jenna Marbles.
Yeah. And I want to be tall, like Jenna Marbles.
I don't want to be tall.
But
I
I
wanna be
don't
able
want
to
any
see
of
over
those
my
weird
fridge.
little dogs. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, I want a nice beard so I can have a nice handlebar mustache and grow it really pointy and long. And then we can call me Catfish.
Isabella is willing to swap heights with someone, so get your bids in now.
Deal. We need to find somebody with that type of mutation that could just swap that with like hold our hand.
Check on them.
Welcome, Reverend Whiteheart. Also a bearded agender. Thank you. Represent.
Yeah, the Timbo chest pompadour. I'm gonna eventually make a prosthetic one for like the finale or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like I wanted to get a fake beard for it, but I thought that would be too much to be putting on for every stream. So
yeah.
it would probably get very uncomfortable and gross by the end of the run.
So let me tell you guys about. Nope, never mind.
Ooh, we might
have someone. Ooh, a very mood in there.
Ooh.
Let me see if I can make it a little less mood.
Good audio.
Yay! Oh, Mark.
You came back in right when we were talking about chest merkins.
Chest merkin. You know, to hide all the marks.
A nice breast bush.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will trade a beard for a breast bush. Deal.
Megan, do you want to introduce Max now that you're back?
Sure. Okay. Now that I'm back and everyone can hear me, I play Max, our goose-headed Gorgon Arcanist. And after growing up with well, our original coven, and Night Sky Sanctum, and how the way they treated their familiars, Max has made it definite that their little rat, Mr. Crumbs, will not be used for any kind of missions and is strictly just a care animal at this point. So
nice.
There's not going to be any familiar antics from there. But they're essentially both street rats.
Yeah, I was thinking about rats. They're like the best camouflage for a familiar because nobody is gonna think twice about seeing a rat like climbing out of vents or anything. Not in midnight. Morningstar, I don't know if your audio was coming through just a few minutes ago.
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
you're
It's a good
back.
thing you called that before I said anything important.
You're
Instead
good.
of just the occasional catty remark, because that's my specialty.
We love your cats and your bird. So, as I was recapping, the Coven was on a stolen speedboat, stolen from the Red Watch, with a hot dog vendor friend of theirs. They had just got done with a very crazy, the silly kind of undertaking you can go on in Witches of Midnight. They had just got done with one of those and had decided that they would take the knife that they got from Rara Avis that belonged to their lost sibling, and they are going to perform a ritual that will allow them to detect the location of that lost sibling so that they can find a way to get to them and rescue them. Bring them back into the Coven, as it were. So, thank you for coming, Struggle Princess. Have a great night. Right. And Vice as well. Okay. So, for the undertaking, we need a method and a detail, which we already covered at the end of the last session. The method is going to be the Coven Ritual Rite of the Daglock, which allows you to locate somebody based off of something that you have that was theirs, which is that dagger. And the detail is the dagger itself. So you're good to go. You start with 1 die for sheer luck, as they call it. Let's see. Unbeknownst to you, you will be going up against a faction that is greater tier. So we're back down to 0 dice. Is the operation bold or daring? Well, you are taking a stolen Red Watch boat and using that to get... So you definitely get a die for bold and daring. Do they have any particular defenses against your method or detail? They do not. Again, that things that your characters wouldn't know about. But actually, I'm going to say it's so far out of what they would expect that I'm going to give you guys a bonus die. All right, so we're going to jump right over to our online dice roller, and I'm going to do a 3-die engagement roll that we will base the starting position off of. That is a mixed result. You will engage the first obstacle from a risky position. So, when you finish the ritual, who wants to have led that?
I can.
Okay, yeah, it kind of seemed like it was going to be your thing, considering you were the one that went and got the dagger and everything. So yeah,
I have 0 information about this sibling from last time, so that doesn't make too much sense if I...
We had given
I still don't know I have magic.
We had given them the name Alan. We had decided that they were masculine, probably, but we hadn't really decided much more than that. They are a mandrake, so they have some plant-like heritage traits. And to the best of your knowledge, you all did remember that they had had some run-ins with the Keepers of the Old Ways, who thought that their birthmark was a sign of some kind of divinity or something of that nature, and so you knew that there was a likelihood that the Keepers of the Old Ways might be involved with them if they were abducted or trapped somewhere. So yeah, I think that catches us up on the information you all had. All right. So, you finished, or do you want to describe the ritual?
Sure. So this is almost like dowsing. So Jex will tie the dagger to whatever kind of rope, string, chain, bit of her t-shirt she tore off and tied it to it. Kind of let it swing like a pendulum and point them in direction they need to go. So I guess what she would probably do is Jex has a ring that she wears that has a little blade that'll pop up out of it, and that's generally how she gets to her own blood relatively quickly. She can take her ring, spin it around, and, ramp into her palm and have just a little bit of blood. And so she will use that to charge the ritual to find Alan.
All right. Everything seems to go according to plan at first. You feel a distinct pull in the southwesterly direction, and immediately whoever's driving the speedboat, since the hot dog vendor is not aboard any longer, might need to take an action to do so. Or we might need to do a fortune roll. Because this is a relatively high-tech speedboat. So, who wants to be the navigator? / pilot, I guess. I guess Jex is the navigator. With the pendulum.
Max is cool trying to pilot it.
You got 360-degree vision with the geese. Perfect for a pilot.
That's true.
Except you have some of the geese bickering about how they should be going. You've got backseat driver geese.
And some geese have got little pieces of bread and hot dog bun and stuff stuck down in between them, and they're pecking at it.
If we're speeding on the boat, though, and I have the geese, are they making a V formation on my head?
Ooh, I like that. It's like you're Naruto running, but it's geese. Awesome. Let's see. You are an arcanist, so not particularly good with technology.
No.
I think maybe we should do a fortune roll based off of your focus. Do you think that would make sense? To see how well the boat reacts to your wild magic getting so close to it.
Okay.
So that's going to be exclamation point, your focus rating, and then the letter F.
Okay.
Aw. That not roll is going on. There it goes. All right. Hey, that's not too bad at all. Okay. So the boat sputters a little bit. The engine seems like it's going to die, and then you kind of ease off for a few seconds, and it sort of sputters back to life, and you sort of just give it some time. Maybe you operate it telekinetically from a few, a foot back.
Oh, yeah.
That way you're not standing too close to it. And the boat sort of just comes back to life, and you're able to telekinetically pilot it the rest of the way. You are worried there might be some future potential complications, but for now, it seems to be doing exactly what you want it to do. However, you guys get about 20 minutes into your speedboat ride, and you notice that you are coming toward the edge of the dark zone around midnight. So you can actually see this sort of translucent border. You can see the water glistening on the other side, but you can't really see the light itself. Welcome, Han Sully. Thanks for coming in.
Hello.
And yes. So you guys kind of skirt around the edge of that, and then you realize that it is not taking you, the pendulum is not taking you where you expected. You end up sort of rounding the bottom of Manhattan, and then working your way back up the river on the other side. And an hour later, the pendulum is still tugging strongly to the north. And then you realize that you are about to hit the border going the other way, north into a bay and potentially further, because there is no deviation. It's just heading straight north. And so if you guys are
we're not
willing...
going into Jersey.
Yeah, slightly. So if you guys are willing to follow the Daglock, then it seems like it is trying to take you there.
I know, I'm gonna go.
Jersey?
We can't leave our friend in Jersey.
Good point.
We need to go get them.
Well, once you make that decision, Max kicks it into gear, and you all head speeding northward, and you find that your boat tries to beach itself just on the on one of the shores near on the west side of Brooklyn. And it looks like it's still pointing straight north. So now you don't have a vehicle. But you have accidentally planted the speedboat very, very far away from where they would be looking for it.
Happy accident.
Does anyone have any more spray paint?
I always have a few cans.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, I'm pretty sure Jax has it was like all of their personal belongings.
So does that mean we're all going to paint phallic symbols on this boat?
I'm just
find
thinking.
We have
tag it so they at least know that we went for a joyride this far.
Yeah, we had our first use of the Hand of Fate. Thank you,
The
Izza.
Hand of Fate right now.
Yeah, and sadly, it is bad news. There is a detector on the boat. A red light starts flashing on the console of the boat as you guys are disembarking, and it seems to indicate that some kind of theft deterrent GPS has activated, and there will probably be Red Watch coming for the boat shortly.
Quick, let's wild magic it away.
We set it off as soon as we entered Jersey.
Their theft deterrent sure took a long time to kick in.
Mhm.
Not a very good deterrent. The thievery had already happened.
Yep. Maybe it was all of your wild magic causing it to stop functioning properly.
Hmm.
Or it's like those grocery carts. They get a certain distance from the store and the wheels stop.
That's it. It's like it detects Jersey and it's like,
No.
not going there. Locking up.
Even the machines don't want to go there.
Jersey, though, is native territory. So you're actually not supposed to be there. It is definitely not land that is allowable for you to tread upon. So you end up on the Brooklyn side, and it is still pulling you directly north, and it has already taken you outside of the circle. So you are now in daylight.
I imagine that we're all just in terrible pain covering our eyes because we haven't seen daylight ever.
Yeah,
We're mole people now.
months or years.
Yeah. Timbo oddly is loving it. Just like grab some water, splash in the hair to just like fling it around a little bit in the sunlight.
Timbo's gonna be
Timbo's.
like a cat in a sunbeam.
Yeah, glistening, looking
Yeah.
for a place to lay down.
It's like flexing a little, like, oh.
All right, so you're not sure how much further north you're going to need to go, but
All the way to Yonkers.
you sort of pace around a little bit, and again, that thing is just tugging almost directly north. No amount of going east and west seems to be changing that it still needs you to go further north.
I guess we're going north.
What would you like to use for transportation?
My feet.
Your feet?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much of a choice right now. I'm just gonna follow it.
We could take the subway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is there a subway out here?
Oh yeah.
We're in Brooklyn.
It's too far away. It's not in the darkness. It doesn't have a train.
The subway goes pretty far north, actually.
It does, yeah. Not to Poughkeepsie, but
Oh, Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie is
Wait.
south.
huh?
Poughkeepsie is south.
No, it's north.
No.
It's south of Buffalo. Well,
Yeah.
southeast of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Way
we
more
can't
east.
take this. We can't take the subway all the way to Buffalo.
Nope.
But there is a subway nearby.
Yep. Always.
We'll
Okay.
take it as north as it goes.
Until it tells us to go.
North
different
until we
way.
find Buffalo,
Okay.
which I assume exist because they were wiped out by the colonizers.
Okay. You I am going to roll fortune roll because subway travel is funky sometimes, especially when you go further out. Okay. It's not the worst. Mixed result. So, yeah, you find that you have kind of a wide berth because you have a Sasquatch with you. It alternates. That either everybody stays really far away from you or everybody wants to touch your fur. So you kind of get a mix of both.
Again, Timbo is loving it as long as it's a nice, attractive like person in general. They're like, yes, pet my hair.
Otherwise, if they're not appropriate, if they're not attractive, it's like, hello, human resources.
Yeah, it's like yeah, Timbo has some work to do in that department with the shallowness, but it's fine.
Nice.
Still very Johnny Bravoing it out there.
Oh, mama.
Ask for a couple numbers while being pet. It's fine.
Okay. So you end up writing all the stops until it ends and deposits you out again back into sunlight, much further north than you usually go, and it is still pulling you further north. And at this point, you are not in the city any longer. You walk a couple blocks after the last subway stop, and then it's still pulling you north.
Jeez.
You see cabs running. Not as many as you see when you're in Midnight proper, but you do see cabs running. However, they are all, as you well know, AI controlled and driverless. and they don't stop for witches, or at least wild witches.
I guess now we're walking.
Wait. I have mesmerize. Can I sway us safe to giving us a taxi ride?
Ooh, I think that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see a tall gentleman with a briefcase who is making his way the opposite direction of you, but he stops when he sees the geese on your head, and Timbo.
Timbo's got his leg out on the side. We're like, bram, 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 bram.
He seems concerned that Cassandra and Jex are safe with the two of you. And so yeah, he's kind of giving you a side eye and waiting to see, what kind of move the four of you are gonna make.
Timbo just puts an arm around Jex, like, buddies. Like leans all the way down to do it.
So yeah, he's sort of eyeballing Cassandra, since she looks significantly younger than the rest of you.
Cassandra is completely, and I mean completely blind. She can't see anything. She is not adjusting well to the daylight. So this man is watching her, she's with her dear friends, and hopefully they are keeping an eye on her because she's literally just about to walk into a pole.
Yeah, I think he mistakes your inability to see for like paranoia or something of that nature, and so yeah, he's sort of keeping an eye on you.
She's paranoid as well, so.
So Max, do you want to approach him?
Yeah, I want to at least because he's not parked next to us. You said he was going away from us?
Yeah, he was walking toward the subway, whereas you had just exited the subway.
Okay. So he's going into the subway, but he's the taxi driver.
No. He is going. I thought you wanted him to hail a taxi for you and take you there. The taxis are driverless.
Okay.
They are robotically and artificially intelligently controlled.
Okay. In that case, well, the nice part about mesmerize is I can cause them to forget what I said until they interact with me again. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna essentially be like, hey, me, my two sisters, and our dog need a ride. Can you hail us a taxi? And no one wants to pick up a bunch of kids.
Okay.
Tim just goes,
All right. Yeah, I think that warrants a roll. I'm gonna say risky because, well, that's what we rolled for the engagement, but I think also he has a healthy dose of concern and worriedness. He a 2-meter tall dog. And I'm gonna say limited effect. So
I'm just a Great Dane.
Great.
It's a Great Dane Mastiff combo. Okay.
Because he does generally trust his own eyes, and there's no illusion, making him see something different.
Okay, so that's not how sway and mesmerize works. I can't I'm not making them see something else or convincing them otherwise.
Full on hypnotism. No, we probably do need a power like that though. Sirens get something that's similar to that, but it's mostly to help get rid of consequences.
I can drive someone to madness.
No, that's true.
What? Can't drive us if you're mad.
Well, luckily, he doesn't need to drive. He just needs to swipe his little electronic card, and let you guys in. So
Well, if he's mad, could we get him to, or could we just take the card?
yeah, you sure could. You would
Kind
have
of
the same
difficult to
problem
use.
that Max had driving the speedboat. But yeah, you definitely could. It would be better if it was used by his hand, but only marginally better.
Well, here's the question: if we just drive him to madness, is he easier to control?
That is a really good question. That would depend on the results of the dice roll.
We'll use that as our backup. If
Timbo
nobody-
sounds like mother.
Uh-oh. You got
If
the
nobody-
dreaded comparison to Elise. Does that trigger
If you
anybody's
drive
traumas?
people to madness, are they easier to control?
I'm pretty sure that was exactly a line spoken by Elise when you guys were at that awards ceremony.
Driving
yeah.
people to madness and making them easier to control is entirely her thing.
Yeah.
Where I learned the technique is we don't worry about it. If it's gonna work, is what we'll worry about, and we'll use it as a backup if nobody has a better
Mhm.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel Mesmerize would work better to use at the end of this to make him forget.
Okay, I misunderstood how that works, so my bad.
Yeah,
It's
alright.
just letting you sort of scrub their brain after you sway it.
After you've convinced them to do what you want.
The
you
these
do
aren't the
still have
droids
to
you're
do-
looking for.
No, it's the little
Oh yeah, the
mind
Men in
blasty
Black.
thing from Men in Black.
Yep.
The neuralizer.
But then when
Yes.
they see you again, they're like, wait, there's something really familiar about them. And then it all comes flooding back to them. Oh, that's what they did.
Okay.
So, Timbo, are you going to drive someone mad?
I think we'll just drive him mad. Well,
I feel like every time Timbo does anything, I've gone mad.
yeah, it's
Just the
it's not
descriptions of the things he does.
it's not very hard. So Timbo, as always, I mean, the power is called deep melody.
Mm-hmm.
He just starts singing that do 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 do.
The deepest of melodies.
He just starts with like a little whisper and he's swinging and he just keeps getting louder and louder. It says I use one essence for that, but should I try like a sway roll?
Yeah, let me pull that up. It's one essence, and there's not usually a roll associated. It's just as long as they can hear your song.
Well, okay, well, he's at least going to be a little mad now. I don't know how mad. We can maybe do a fortune roll for how
Yeah,
mad.
we could do a fortune roll based off of whatever attribute, whatever action roll you want to use.
I'll just use sway for it,
Okay,
which I
that
have
makes
one
sense.
in. And I'll just keep the one because I want to be exciting with it, and we'll just do the one
All right.
one F.
Yep.
And we'll see how mad he goes because we still have to control him.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, perfect.
I don't know. So did he go completely mad, or did I completely
It's-
control that to where
it's-
he's just the right amount
Well,
of
the
madness?
6 means whatever you want, darling.
Right.
Okay, then he is the right amount of madness,
Yeah.
and it's just like we gave him a lobotomy. He's a
Mhm.
little bit of a vegetable.
Yep.
So I
Extremely pliant.
vegetized him, Captain.
All right, yeah. He starts going through his wallet and he's showing you pictures of his family, and he just seems really happy to be there. And you know, anything you tell him to do, he just does without question.
Let's see, good old buddy, old pal. We need a ride. Help
All right.
us out here real quick.
He hails you a big SUV style cab that can fit probably 6 or 8 people. So you can probably fit 5 people, including one Sasquatch. All right. He swipes his card. It plays a jaunty little tune. And then you all climb into the back seat. And he says, "Oh, you know, I don't know where I'm going."
North?
Well, north.
Yeah, at first the AI is confused, and you see like this little screen that has this like smiley face, but it's like spinning like upside down, like it's confused. And then when somebody shouts out north, it turns right side up and dings. And then it's like, I can take you north.
Well, how
And-
far north can you go? Because that's where we're going.
And the car makes a U-turn and starts taking you north. And in the extreme distance, you can see the Catskill Mountains as it continues to follow your directions. And when you start to notice that the pendulum is being more active by east-west than it is by north, you have a feeling that you're getting relatively close. And it literally drives you into the wilderness up to what looks like a gated piece of property. And you come to a closed and locked gate. It looks relatively fancy. It looks like whoever owns this put a lot of money into this gate and security. It also looks relatively high tech. There are some cameras, but as of now, with the tinted windows in the cab SUV that you have, you know that there's no way they're seeing you right now.
Okay. So we turn around, drive away from the gate, find a different way in.
Okay. You find that the road seems to continue sort of around this relatively hilly patch of land, and the stone fence that's about 7 feet tall continues to sort of run within about 15 to 30 feet of the road at all times. And after a couple of minutes, you don't notice any breaks in it or anything like that.
Okay.
But as you're going around and you feel that pendulum continuing to pull, you can tell you're definitely making a semicircle around the place where you need to get.
Okay.
Am I picking up anything with my grimoire sense of what specific resonance does this item or place of power have? Like, am I getting
Yeah.
anything from this building that's
It's just a fence. There's no building. It's like this big hilly piece of fenced off wilderness. But yeah, you notice it's pretty resonanceless. In midnight, everything seems to have a really heightened resonance. This, even though it's wilderness, it doesn't have the sort of wild resonance that you would expect. It's almost like it's been manicured to the point that it has lost its sort of interesting resonance.
okay?
So,
Oh, a nice gentrified wilderness.
exactly.
Okay. So we haven't found any other break in the fence, so we should probably just get out and see if we can find any other, like, see if there's any other cameras, or if the fence is like electrified or has any real, I mean, an 8-foot fence isn't that,
No.
we can climb over that.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
there are also cameras.
Yeah, there
that's
were
where
at the
I wanna
gate.
find it.
There were at the
Oh, so the
gate.
cameras aren't all the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
but since you've been kind of traveling around the exterior, you're noticing that there's no more electricity running down these parts of the stone fence. It seems to be pretty much just the kind of thing that would keep maybe coyotes out, but not much more than that. if something a little taller wanted to get over that fence, they wouldn't have too much trouble.
All right, everybody climb on my shoulders.
I was just gonna say,
I
is
don't
Timbo
think we
gonna
need
eat
to
us
do
all?
that even. I'm sure we could probably just. I'm going to have Cassandra just try and kind of
Scramble.
just really embarrassingly awkwardly scramble over the wall. Just try to
Nice.
swing her leg up.
Nice. You want
Max
to
is gonna
do?
get underneath. The geese are gonna push on her feet.
Timbo just kind of lifts a foot and nudges up a little bit to lift her up. She thinks she's climbing up, but it's Timbo lifting his foot.
So yeah, do you guys want to just help each other over the wall, or do we want to let Cassandra make this attempt first?
I mean,
Just
I'm
watch the poor girl struggle.
No.
learning experience for a child. Just let them.
Formative, yeah. How about a spring fortune roll?
Spring fortune roll.
That sounds
Sure.
delicious.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
It's a spring roll, but it has a fortune in it.
strong.
Don't eat the fortune by accident.
I can't trust myself around spring rolls. I'll just devour everything in it, whether it's paper or shrimp.
Yeah.
No, but what are we doing? Spring.
Fortune.
Spring fortune roll.
All right, so that's not going to go well for me, but I suppose that is to be expected because
You never know.
Right, let's see. Hey, your
Oh.
spring is not bad.
oh no, but that's the 3, so that's supposed to be a 0.
Oh,
I should
gotcha.
put 0 there,
Oh, okay.
I suppose.
Okay. So yeah, you run up and you leap to try to grab a hold of the top edge, and your fingers you're dangling from your fingers. Like the front knuckle of your fingers is all that catches on top. And yeah, you're starting to slip when the others come up behind you. So if somebody wants to give them a boost, there is no way they're making it over otherwise.
Yeah, Timbo just goes up, have some trouble, champ. Basically gives way too much of a push and pushes Cassandra just like right over.
Oh, that's cute.
Let's hope there's not coyotes on the other side.
Yeah. I could possibly do a target roll, see if I targeted Cassandra.
No, the other 3 of you are tall and athletic enough to make your way over the fence without any further issues.
We'll just use Cassandra as like our little canary.
Yeah.
She
Cassandra.
doesn't talk.
Yeah.
She's not good at giving warning because she
Wave your arms.
you're not going to hear it.
So Cassandra, when you do fall over the top, you find yourself in sort of a bed of pine straw that's sort of being used as like mulch around the interior of the area. So you've got like pine straw sticking out of your hair now.
I assume the cat does too.
Oh, do we think the cat made it back to you?
Oh yes, that's true. The cat. Well, maybe the cat just appeared when we came out of the Hudson again.
Yeah, it just came walking up, shook itself off, and crawled back in your lap.
Either that, or Cassandra's fallen in these pines, and the cat's just like licking itself on the other side, like it's about time you
You're
got
finally here. It's like, how did you know where I was going? I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that works for me. The cat again, it's not really a normal cat, so
Right.
it's just being there. I think even Cassandra knows something's not right about it, so
Fair.
I don't know that she would be necessarily surprised by that even.
Nice. But everybody else, when you all come over, you are surprised. Yeah, so like I said, it's a little bit on the manicured side here, at least this part that's nearest to the fence. There are a lot of trees, but they're all the same species. They're sort of tall, thin pine trees. And it's a thick enough copse of trees that you're not able to see very deeply into the property.
Going to be very fun for Timbo.
Yeah. So many places to hide.
Timbo's already panicking and looking for a hair tie.
Just so many pine needles.
At least
We're
they'll smell great.
We're still trying to figure out what to call the Sasquatch Heritage Grimoire. I was thinking Hide Behind would be an interesting name for their grimoire.
No, that's a whole other cryptid.
It's a whole other cryptid, but that's the thing. They're kind of like the grandfather of all cryptids, in a
And you may
way.
as well call it Squatch if you're going to just call it a cryptid name.
Well, that's already the name of the heritage.
So?
What's
I'm
the
a
Spanish word for
Squatch.
foot in grande?
That's against the law. It can't be that.
Like the Medusa and the Gorgon,
Mhm.
you know, we do need a slightly different name. But we'll figure it out, I'm sure. Alright. So, let's see, I think I am going to call for a fortune roll for Jex, because when you come over this thing, there is a chance it's going to disrupt your ritual.
Okay. So, like a focus,
That sounds great, yeah.
and I just roll my focus dice.
Yeah, with an F.
See what my
And that's
focus-
going to be risky standard.
Okay.
That is
Oh.
the end of your ritual.
Yeah.
You can resist that, but I think what it looks like is you're very focused on the pendulum and not so much focused on the knife, which you have in your hand in your pocket. But as you're climbing, you let go of the knife, and I think that it's gonna tumble off of your person, and
The knife
end of
is
the
the
ritual.
pendulum. The knife is the pendulum.
Oh, the knife is the pendulum? Yeah, maybe it just, the blade gets tangled up in the wire and it cuts it.
Okay.
So if you want to resist that, you could.
No.
Okay. All right. So you pick the knife back up, and you can tell that the magic that was in it has kind of discharged. But you knew exactly where it was pointing, so it still shouldn't be very difficult for you to make your way
I
in.
just want to wander through the woods, screaming
Yeah.
for Alan. Alan!
All
I don't know
right.
if screaming's the best idea.
Wandering
can't
through the
stop
woods
you, I
always
can't
sounds
talk.
okay.
So,
Just
as you
yeah.
are all trying to get your bearings, and Jex is showing you the direction that the pendulum was pointing before the spell ended, you hear a sort of whirring sound, sort of coming up from up the hill, in your toward your general area. Kind of sounds like a really large drone.
Oh, we should hide.
Yeah.
Sandra puts on the lampshade.
No, she starts burying herself under the pine needles.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's just get under the pine straw.
How well does Timbo blend in with the pine straw? You might not
Well-
even have to cover yourself.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he does have a lot of hair and stuff, so it just kind of like makes everybody just build the pine straw around me. I'll make like a big like hut shape, and we can all crawl under me, and so you guys can be protected. I will be the hut, Timbo the hut today.
You can't out-hut the hut. I don't know.
And I'll hut the hut.
You can't out-hut the hut. I don't know what that means.
It does sound like an old 80s Pizza Hut ad, though, for some reason.
I think that is something that they use.
Which is why I'm so confused, because it doesn't make sense.
No,
but
it
sounds
doesn't.
familiar.
Either way. Okay.
You cannot out-hut the foot. There we go. We got there.
I'm gonna do a fortune roll. I'm gonna give it a 2 dice penalty because of your hiding.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Could never for us. Could never.
Right. So the drone, you actually hear, as the drone is coming close, you hear a second drone that's also kind of coming in from the other direction. And the first drone stops directly over Timbo, and it just pauses there and hovers in the air. And you hear aberrant heat signature detected.
Well, okay, I actually have a solution for this. I think I have a solution for this.
You're in the best position to solution it.
I think I can use adaptation and become cold-blooded.
Oh, interesting.
That would be an interesting adaptation all of a sudden.
Yeah, all right.
We are in the sunlight now, so I think I'll be fine living-wise. So I think I'm going to just try to go, instead of it's physical because blood, I'm just going to be cold-blooded.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Yeah, what does that call for?
It's real
Some
Let's see,
essence.
one essence it just says.
Nice, okay. Yeah, I think...
My hair turned slightly cool-toned. I'm now an ash blonde.
Everybody's like, we need to know Timbo's secret. All right.
I can keep my cool in a hard situation. Okay?
What would you
Timbo did this on purpose so he can sing when he comes back. Hot blood.
Yes.
Chicken of the sea.
No.
I don't know the words to songs. I just make up my own. So that one's always been hot-blooded chicken of the sea. I got a fever of 103.
Okay, we're taking notes.
I think a focus roll to sort of focus on your own biology and make a change that big would be appropriate, or maybe a sway roll. I think focus makes more sense.
Focus, I think, makes more sense. I'm going to do 2 willpower and push myself for an extra die.
Nice. We're going to make this work.
I'm really concentrating, basically.
Nice. 1 pip away from a crit.
Go.
The drive to protect my friends and family.
All right. The second drone kind of pulls up and does the same scan, and it just says, no aberrant heat signature detected. And then the other drone turns and faces it and says, returning to base for diagnostics. And then the second drone continues its patrols, and the first drone heads directly in the direction that the pendulum was pointing.
So
This is like the
scuttle along the ground underneath Timbo.
Timbo's just a ghillie suit now.
Right. Cold-blooded ghillie suit.
Timbo's just happy to be useful.
And basically hugging all of his friends at once.
Yes.
I knew I'd get you all in for a group hug eventually.
It only took 6 episodes. And getting sick from eggs and hot dogs.
Yeah. Hot dog debacle. We are not speaking of the hot dog riots.
Well, we will jump right back into this and decide where you guys are heading next after we take a quick little break. See you in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Balsamic Games and Witches of Midnight, Witches Dozen, Session 6. We are joined by guest star Hermes, behind Morningstar there. And a shout out to Stormraven, who just gifted 2 subs and put us to our 25 subs mark. This is the first time we've hit that level. And so there will be new emotes, both the static and the animated variety, coming soon, because those have just unlocked for us. So thank you, Stormraven, so much for doing that. And for the 2 people who were gifted subs, I think that was Midnight Rose 926 and Trace Face Foxer. We are so glad that you are subscribed now, and we hope you all get a chance to join us at some point and join chat so we can say hi to you. I'm pretty sure I've met Midnight Rose 926 a time or 2. I think they might be on our Discord server as well. So, but thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Hype trains are weird. We haven't seen one in a little while. I think since our Night Sky Sanctum finale, we had a hype train. I think Vice set that one off. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what triggers those. So yeah, we'll have to see. But thank you for trying. We appreciate it. Okay, so you successfully got rid of the 2 drones, and now you have more of an idea of what you are up against. Here, it looks like some relatively high-tech stuff. But you are free to go about that as you please. If anybody wants to gather information or take any actions or group actions, just shout them out.
Turn my
We
character
are-
sheet just shut down.
And we all try to talk at once. There is a link to our Kickstarter for Witches of Midnight, the game we are playing right now. So feel free to click that link and click Get Notified. It helps us out tremendously, just showing us that you're interested in the game. So please do that. We've been stuck right around 300 notifications for a few days now, so we would love to see that number go up. We love big numbers. That's why we play a game with D6s instead of D20s. We just love those big. Aw, Hermes. So regal.
So
Aww.
She needs attention, so I'm just giving it to her.
Oh, she's so cute.
There's a picture of some strange type of pigeon going around. Has like a really meaty chest and a really fluffy feet.
There's quite a few different breeds like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so everybody was trying to shout out their actions all at once, and then we all
we got distracted by pigeon.
Yeah.
Okay. Since I've already tried to get a sense of the place, can I try to detect magic now that we're over the wall and the drones are out of the way?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Is there a particular thing you're looking for, or are you just sort of feeling out in all directions for any kind of magic signature?
Yeah, just trying to feel now that the we're no longer essentially dousing with the knife.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so maybe you could focus on the direction that Jex was pointing out first and see what you can find there. Awesome.
Okay. Magical Marco Polo. So I need to do 1 essence for that.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess maybe a focus roll or a survey roll if I'm just trying to get the area.
I think either could work, whatever you're feeling like.
Because we already know a direction, I guess I'll focus in
I
the
like that.
direction
Yeah.
that we already know about.
Yeah, I think fictionally that makes awesome sense.
Okay, and I'm gonna bop 2 willpower to get a little extra point, just to see what we can do to make it a little bit more impressive.
Alright. Okay.
Not very impressive at all.
So I think what happens is you get an immediate and intense feeling that there is a significant amount of magical energy there.
Okay.
It's almost overwhelming. It's sort of like a piercing sound going through your brain, kind of like horrible tinnitus. And it almost it gives you a migraine. So let's do, unless you'd
Take some
like to
damage,
resist
or-
it, let's do level 2 harm,
Okay.
magic induced
Level
migraine.
2 because I have so many heads.
Every goose has a different migraine.
Oh,
One goose has floaters. Another goose has tinnitus. It's sad.
One's just hungover.
that one's just like drooped limp off the side of my head.
Mhm. You look a little emo.
Oh, that'd be nice. Just
Yeah,
drip
over
across
the
face.
eyes. All right, yeah, and you are sure that you were detecting lots of magical signatures,
Okay.
and it was a bit much.
A little bit much.
It's a bit much. Not quite tacky, but a bit much.
Just maximalist, that's all.
It definitely didn't give you any information that was contrary to what you already believed, though. So,
Okay. Mm. Well, my head hurts. All of them. What do you guys want to try now? Because I'm sure Max is going to be holding like all their heads for a little bit.
I feel like
We
Jex
just
would
do-
probably just start off in the direction that she thought she was supposed to go.
Mhm.
I mean, carefully, but
Mhm.
you know.
I feel like that's the most natural sort of move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cassandra would certainly fall in line doing so.
Do you want to lead a group prowl, say?
Sure. Let me make sure I
We'll
have.
see how well Timbo can prowl.
You're
Well,
a sound
Timbo
bot.
could
Come
prowl
on,
rather well.
Disappear.
Do the roar. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'll prowl in and out of the trees, so maybe we'll get some cool pictures of some normies taking I got a Bigfoot sighting.
All right.
Okay.
So,
So
Jex, that's going to
Jex-
cost you 1 willpower to lead.
Okay.
And then everybody can make a prowl roll.
Oh, as usual. You see, a Bigfoot is like a Sasquatch is only partially successful at prowling.
Hey, so is a Max, despite the headache. Ooh.
Damn.
Oh dear.
Nice spot is not
Oh.
really
All right. So that's going to cost you 2 additional willpower.
bad.
So 3 in total.
Need to really practice with that lampshade some more.
Maybe the answer's bigger lampshade.
True.
But yeah, it looks like you end up sort of defaulting to Max and Timbo. Something's sort of tripping the two of you up, Cassandra and Jex. Timbo grabs Cassandra by the back of the, Jex grabs Cassandra and pulls Cassandra out of the line of sight of a passing drone. And you come to the edge of this forested area as you're sort of ascending a hill. And you see what looks like a modern, it's a modern home, a lot of glass on the exterior, like whole walls of glass. The kind of place that, people don't throw rocks from. And
I'm gonna throw a rock.
but
yeah, I mean, Jex is here. Jex is.
Jex is a rock throwing mad person. Yeah, you see a couple of really nice cars parked in the driveway.
Oh.
On the
those two.
yeah, and yeah, you see that there are about a dozen minus one drones sort of roaming the property at all times. And thank you so much, Reverend Whiteheart, for the subscription. Reverend Whiteheart, I think, might be one of the first people that ever subscribed for 3 months at one time. That's amazing. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. I need to get on Twitch more often. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you, darling.
26. All right.
One of us.
We hear that on our Discord server at least once or twice a week. So thank you. All right. So yeah, you're at the edge of this forested area. You've let the two drones that were nearest to you sort of fly on by and continue their patrols, and they don't seem to have noticed you. Max, you can still feel that sort of pulse, that magical pulse. Most of it is coming from underground, near that building, but a bit of it is coming from the other side of the building.
Underground? Oh goodness, we're going back into underground research facilities.
Let's hope there are no dirty holes.
Oh no.
Or we don't bring down the whole thing like the other coven.
Oh yes,
So-
the mega wild magic.
I know Alan has not been in our telepathy range for a while or connected to us in that way. Is there any way that we could like reach out and try to find him that way?
Yeah, I think if you wanted to do something like that, it might have limited effect, since it is really common for you guys to have a big overarching telepathic bond that binds together all the siblings, and so yeah, I think there's a chance that it might extend. You might be able to sort of tune it into Alan.
Yeah.
So that we
since
can
know
have
we're
really
pretty
sexy
close.
conversations like the elves in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Yeah, what do you want to use for that?
I guess that would be a focus. That makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
I'm gonna spend some willpower and boost my focus.
Do you want to boost it by a die or boost it up to standard effect?
Let's
Gonna
boost it up
be-
to standard effect.
Okay. It's going to be risky, and I can offer you an additional die for a Fey bargain.
Sure.
Alright. Oh, that is not how I do a Fey bargain. That is. Alright. Collateral damage, unintended harm, lose an item, appear to betray a friend or loved one, offender anger affection, start and or tick a troublesome clock. Yeah, I think...
I have an idea.
Yeah, I'm willing.
So I have that knife that guy in Rar Avis wants back. If I lose it, I'm losing an item and I look like I'm betraying someone.
Yeah,
kind of
he'll be very upset.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so you're just going to drop that knife here by accident. Flops out of your pocket. Or maybe even you lost it back there a ways and didn't notice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. I'll definitely give you +1 die for that.
Okay.
Don't forget to mark a packed tick.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see. And it's not an F, right?
No, this is a standard
Just
action.
regular.
Risky stand. All right. Ooh, that extra dice came in. That extra die came in handy.
Yep.
Because that gives you a partial success, snatched from the jaws of defeat. Okay. Yeah. What does that look like? How do you do that?
So Jex is just gonna stop and sit down on the ground, and so I have a what do you call it? One of my senses,
Mm-hmm.
my grimoire sense, is to be able to find warm moving blood
Yeah.
in my domain. So it's kind of a little bit of a stretch because this isn't my domain. But I'm gonna sit down and just start breathing in really deep to see if I can smell the blood, see where I can find him, and see if I can pick up the smell of his individual blood.
Yeah. Yeah, you put your bloody hands together and press them to the earth, and when you do, when you don't feel like it's really done that much at first, but then when you lift up your hand, you see that there's a leaf stuck into the blood on your right hand, and you immediately get a strong sense that this is a leaf that came off of our Mandrake brother Alan.
Okay.
So he is close by.
Okay.
And that's enough to that the telepathic bond starts to expand. And I don't think it's going to give you his exact location right now, but you can tell that it's expanding and it's getting closer. So when you're close, you'll know. But he is definitely not on this side of the building.
I wouldn't expect the telepathic bond to like tell me where he is. I just
Yeah.
maybe to get in contact with him so I can be like direct us to
Yeah. I think he can hear you faintly and he's able to reach out. And he tells you that sadly he can't see anything, but he does know that he was fairly close to a building with a lot of glass.
Okay.
When the last time he was able to see.
Why can't he see?
He lost his ability to move and his ability to see, but he's not sure exactly how long ago. He kind of fell asleep afterward, and he only woke up recently.
Okay.
You better not be a fancy centerpiece in this glass house.
Okay. What kind of leaf is it?
Ooh, I'll let you decide.
I feel like there's a lot more evergreens up in the Catskills. So I want to go with he is an oak tree, so he's got leaves.
Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. So he should be relatively easy to spot amongst all the pines. And so a quick glance around does not reveal an oak.
Okay.
Well, do one of you want to get on my shoulder and I can get really big and we can see if we can see an oak?
Sure, let's do that. And I will send Iker out for a flight over to see if he can see from the top where there might be an oak tree.
Yeah, I think, Timbo, if you got real big, you'd probably end up having to fight off 11 drones.
That's true.
So,
Timbo doesn't think of that consequence. Just think, I want to be tall.
I am very well aware that is Timbo's first thought. But yeah, Iker takes wing, and yeah, you can do a roll for him for gather information.
Okay, let's see. I guess this would be kind of like a survey
Okay.
more than it would be like target or anything, because he's just trying to find where it is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm going to say with a survey, that's going to be risky and great effect. Because he's
Okay.
taken to the air, and because there probably will not be multiple oak trees.
I don't have anything in surveys, so I'm gonna roll the
Perfect.
2 dice and see how it goes. I have target.
I would still give you greater effect on target because it is sort of right out there, hopefully
Yeah.
right in the open.
Okay, I'll take it.
Assuming they haven't stuffed him in a greenhouse somewhere.
Right. All right. A partial success, and it almost landed right in the middle of our ritual
Almost, so
pinnacle.
close.
Okay. I think for the partial success, the 12th drone has finished its diagnostics and found that there was nothing wrong. And so it immediately lifts off just as Iker is flying overhead. And because it's the day and bats are not common during the day, it's sort of tailing him. But it's not taking any aggressive actions or anything like that.
All right, I'll tell Iker to go basically find a hole in a tree when he gets done with his sweep.
Okay.
Just go to sleep like a normal bat.
All right, yeah, he flies directly over, and a couple of meters into the forested area on the other side of the house is a sort of miniature oak tree. It's only about 9 feet tall. But
Okay.
yeah, it's there right in the middle of all the pines.
All right.
And you get a good view of it. It definitely looks like, knowing that there should be a person in, or it is a person, that you are like, oh yeah, I can see the silhouette of Alan in that. Whereas other people might be able to just pass it by and think it was only slightly unusual. But you know for sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Iker can go find a spot to take a nap. And I guess I'll start trying to make my way or show everybody where we need to go so we can make our way in that direction.
Right. Okay, we're definitely going to stick at risky unless you sort of make a really wide arc through the trees. But if you
Yeah.
want to cut straight across, you're going to be in view of potentially whoever's in this house because of the extreme amount of glass.
Yeah. I would stick in the trees then.
Okay. All right. Is this another group action? Like prowl?
Somebody else is gonna have to lead it this time.
Timbo's just like, hey, we kind of have an idea now. I want to head first. He'll just lead the prowl.
Okay.
I'll just hide behind him because he's so much larger.
Everybody form a train behind Timbo.
Everybody grab a limb and just like line yourself up with the limbs so we don't see
It's the ghillie suit routine again. We're all
Yes.
just
Yeah.
on the ground shuffling.
you. The moving ghillie suit. We got it.
All right,
Great.
everybody can roll.
And that's already going to cost me, what, 2 willpower, you said?
1 to start it, and then it can potentially cost more depending on how poorly everyone else rolls.
Am I rolling for prowl?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Jex has a partial success.
Yay.
Uh,
Yay.
Timbo has a complete success. Max has a partial success. And Cassandra has a fail. So that is going to cost Timbo 1 additional willpower, as Timbo is having to stop or slow down so that you can keep Cassandra out of trouble.
Well, Timbo
With
halfway
the cat's just not cooperating.
He's just
Of course, this is a bright white cat, so we have to be very careful trying to like maneuver it so it's not seen.
All right. I am. Let's see. We did get a complete success on that though from the leader. Awesome. So I am going to start a clock called cookies.
Chopping
And
down
that
the
is
tree.
going to be at
Cookies.
0 out of 6.
Cookies.
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 Cookies. All right. So we won't put any ticks on that clock just yet. And the 4 of you have made it silently around the outer perimeter of the trees, avoiding all of the drones, and you have made it to the Allen tree.
Alan.
Not to be confused with an Allen key.
No. Or a Chuck key. Or Chucky.
Or a ranch.
All right.
Well, do we just walk up and be like, knock, 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 anybody home?
Yeah. You can
We're
see
there.
where his face is kind of covered in bark, and his eyes are covered. His mouth and nose are also covered. But it definitely looks like the outline of his body as you remember him. Just encased in a tree. The telepathic bond now completely envelops him, and you all can hear him perfectly well. And he's like so excited that you're here finally, and wants to be free of whatever has taken him over.
Well, buddy, you're a tree.
Well, buddy.
Could we just cut you out of the tree? Or do you want us to chop you down and take you home? Or
Fire.
not fire?
Fire.
Whittle him.
Whittle him back down into a human size? That would take a minute.
Did somebody say fire?
We could just carve him into a real boy. It'll be good.
Pinocchio him right out there.
Where's Geppetto when you need him?
Who's got a crafting skill?
I've got crafting tools.
Oh.
I guess with the telepathy, I want to know. I want to
Yeah.
ask Alan, like, is he in pain? Like, does it hurt if the bark comes off? Like, I don't understand how his anatomy works.
Yeah, you give him a sort of little scrape and pull off a piece of bark, and he's like, I can feel that, but it wasn't painful. Kind of like peeling a sunburn.
So should we do a group project of peeling?
Group sibling peel.
Ew. That's gross.
Do it for love. Let's see.
It looks like whatever transformation this was probably wasn't entirely intentional, and so it might take some big magic to
Can
undo
he
it.
wild magic himself into a tree? Buddy.
I mean,
No.
Ixia wild magicked herself into stone, so seems
Apparently,
pretty
our
on
siblings,
par for.
wild magnet themselves into bad situations.
Well,
That
must
is
be family.
pretty predictable. That is generally why they don't want people having wild magic.
At least he only turned himself into a tree and not an entire room full of other people.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very true.
Okay.
Well, Max
Uh,
has healing glow if Alan believes it'll be productive to his situation. But I don't know if it's like physical pain or if he's just kind of like crusted over and stuck.
yeah, is it just like an outer shell that he's stuck inside of, or
You
is
could
he
do a little
good?
more exploratory bark peeling and see if you could get some more information about that.
Anybody have a screwdriver or a knife or something pokey like claws or
I have first aid kit and crafting tools, so I'm sure I got all kinds of pointy, sharp things.
yes, let's find
I'll
a
pick a piece with some
scalpel.
tweezers. Yeah, a scalpel.
Well, no, we need a lathe.
Dig him up, put him on the biggest lathe you can find, and make
So
a pen
one of
out of him.
one of my grimoire abilities is Firebringer. Can I just set him on fire a little bit?
Yeah,
We
what
can find it out
exactly
real
does
quick.
Firebringer do?
I don't know. It just says Firebringer.
Oh, yeah, you have to look on your on the Grimoire thing. Firebringer allows you to immolate any fresh blood. So if you were to say cut the tree open so the sap was flowing fresh, that might count as fresh blood and allow you to set him
What if I
ablaze.
just cut myself, bleed onto the tree, and then fire on the tree?
Are we
Yes.
trying to set him on fire for some particular reason?
I just to see how bad it hurts.
Thank you, Reverend Whiteheart.
Can I destroy the tree and save the man, or do I have to take the whole thing home? You know, it's the important questions.
I mean, you could just do a pocket knife right into the tree and see, what that
Yeah, I
does.
don't have a knife. Oh, I could do blood iron and make
yes.
myself a little knife.
Some exploratory torture.
Yes.
Love it.
Discover one of our siblings in a precarious situation. We just start
Poke 'em with a spoon.
experimenting on them like little lab rats.
All right, yeah, feel free.
It is one essence
Okay.
to do that. I think I'd have to make a craft roll.
Okay. To make a working blade.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Come on, dice. Make a knife.
That's a
Oh,
5.
yay.
Partial
That's a
success.
nice. It's not a very sharp knife, and it's probably got some, cracks in it. It wasn't quenched very well.
Yeah, we'll call it a poor dagger, but a dagger nonetheless.
I'll start cutting into the tree to see if he starts crying.
Okay.
How deep can I get before he starts crying?
Yeah. You find that you can't even get quite through the first ring of growth before he howls in pain.
Oh.
So just under that first growth ring. He might have been here for, but based on that, maybe somewhere between 6 months and a year.
Damn. All right.
So it's a good thing you guys didn't set him on fire, I guess.
Could I attempt to use my greater telekinesis to just do like a mass peel of like little sections all over him
Sure.
and try to get the bark off?
What's the intention?
The intent is to like peel that layer of bark off to see I guess so we can see what's underneath to get a better idea of how to deal with his situation.
Okay.
Because right now it's just we're trying to get through the bark and everything else, but like if we can't see it, we don't really know what we're up against. So
Yeah.
and we know the bark doesn't hurt. So
Yep.
I'll peel off all his peelies.
Let's just say one essence, and I'll just give it to you. You
Okay.
snap off all the exterior bark. He kind of winces and yelps, but it's not nearly as bad as getting stabbed by a poor iron blade. Yeah, he's surprised and confused, but or I bet you probably told him, okay, I'm gonna try this.
And flipped it off on two.
But yeah, you find that his all of his facial features are covered over in like a thin layer of tree. And when you kind of peel some of that back, you're able to see his eyes, and they're like massively dilated. And he's definitely in there, but it's it's tough going, and you're only able to sort of peel back enough that one of his eyes can see. And immediately he starts, as soon as he can see, he starts trying to breathe, and his whole face is covered in tree, and so he starts like hyperventilating inside the tree. He is going to. We're going to start a 4 o'clock and put 0 ticks on it. That he's going to pass out if he's not able to get some air.
I'll give him a tracheotomy. Have a nice
I have power word calm. I could literally just like touch his face and be like, "It's
that would be quite relevant, wouldn't it?"
Nice. All right. Yeah, you want to roll that?
Yeah, I'll roll that. So that is my focus. And I'll just do 2 willpowers on there.
For an extra die?
Yes, extra die. No. Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, he is able to calm a little. He sort of shallows his breathing, but he's still not getting any air. So eventually, it does sort of just come right back to him. He's still going to pass out just as fast. But at least he's not freaking out about it. So he's no longer screaming telepathically into all of your heads. You basically made it so he didn't give you worse of a headache. But yeah.
So is he, I guess I want to communicate with him if I can, since calm didn't work out as well as I wanted, just to be like, how you doing? Like, are you weak? Are you hungry? Like, just trying to get an idea of like what he's at.
Yeah. So he thinks he was breathing and all of his biological functions were being taken care of by the tree. And now that the tree is, now that his body has basically turned back on, he needs air to live, and he's not getting it from the tree anymore. So he needs to get out of this very quickly, or he's going to, bare minimum, pass back out and not be in your telepathic bond. So we're at 2 out of 4 ticks on his passing out clock.
I have a little bit of an idea.
Okay.
I have one as well.
Since it seems that Cassandra, is witnessing the panic, I imagine she might panic a bit of her own, and potentially, I'm thinking she might void strike the tree.
Okay.
Which could weaken the tree itself, and thus make the separation easier.
Yeah. What does that look like? Is it going to be... she going to just slam her fists on the tree, or...
I think it looks like her frantically, with bare hands, trying to rip bark off to try to save her friend.
Gotcha. Would you like a devil's bargain or a cosmic bargain for that? Sorry.
Yes. I think, just looking to see, you know what? I don't think a cosmic bargain with this, because I think this is going to be a little bit less. It's not quite as panicky as a death thing. So, and I still do have 2 in focus. So we're just going to see how it goes. We're just
Okay.
going to see how this all goes. But it says your negative energy touch weakens your target in a particular way, so I figured that
Yeah.
might make sense. Weakening bark,
Yeah,
making
you
the
could
bark flimsy and easy to fall off.
yeah, dehydrate it or something like that.
All right, now let's see. There we go. So thankfully, I actually have 2 die in focus.
Nice. All right. At Risky, you have a partial success. I think for the cost, I'm thinking.
My hands get marred by the.
I was thinking maybe you like lose an entire fingernail, like it just
horrible.
splits off
Wow.
as you're digging through this like tree flesh that's kind of sloughing away. But then you hit like a hard spot, and it just
Ugh.
snaps back your nail.
Horrible. Absolutely. That's level 3 harm, obviously. Right there was stepping on a Lego.
Yeah. It starts as
Broken.
3, but then it quickly, you're like, oh yeah, that was really level 1 harm, but it felt like 3.
But in that moment, I would have rather just been shot in the head.
Yeah.
Add it to the
Alright.
trauma sheet for sessions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you start ripping at the bark, and then the damage from your void strike sort of spreads out across the whole face of that tree part that you were digging into. And you see as he starts to twist, and parts of his body are now finally coming out of the tree. One arm, and he sort of tilts his head, and you can see one of his ears has come free from the inside of the tree. But he is, trying to get out. If anybody wants to assist him with that.
Yes, I would like to impart some essence on him because I have
Oh,
that as one of my abilities.
nice.
So I don't know how I do it because I haven't done it before, and I don't have any
Yeah.
instructions written down of
Yeah,
how I
it's-
roll. Or
It's pretty much a 1-to-1 transfer. So whatever you want to give up, he'll be able to take. And I'm gonna say, yeah, he's completely tapped out. He was basically in a disconnected state, more or less. A slightly unusual disconnected state. And yeah, I would say
Super
that would like
helpful.
charge him back up energetically. How many do you want to give him?
To tap into my beliefs for Max. Max is going to give as much as they can because be kind where you can. So I have 4 left, so I'll give him 3. That way Max is just kind of teetering on that last little bit of S.
Perfect. That's actually, I was thinking that would be kind of the perfect amount to get him like completely back on his feet. And yeah, as soon as that essence is imparted into him, you can see his Mandrake heritage comes back out in a very strong way, and his skin, his very human Median-looking skin, immediately starts to blossom with green, and the tendrils of green vines and grasses all over his body are able to push away the last bits of the tree and push him completely free. And he kind of stumbles out into the 3 of you, into your arms. And he's panting and gasping, but he is back and ready to go. And
He
Is
is
this like the
remontant.
closest we get to a mandrake birth?
yeah.
Well, there was a lot of screaming involved.
This is how mandrake babies are born. The mother tree just tries to keep holding you in.
Can't leave.
Yeah, you cannot leave. So yeah, he stumbles out and he's completely naked, but he is covered in a nice layer of green new growth. So it's not lewd.
For modesty's
Like a
sake, of course.
green blood.
Even in this roleplay, which is entirely done through audio, we don't have any pictures. We do have to
We've got to think of the
censor
children.
the images.
He's got
Well,
he's got a leaf.
He's
Yeah.
a mandrake, so wouldn't he have a bush? He's
Yes. He has a little hedge.
A topiary, if we will.
Keeps it really well trimmed.
We need a picture of him, but we also need a picture of him with someone with a little squirt gun, just like spraying him like he's a succulent.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear the sound of the metal gate. It's pretty far away from you, but apparently it has squeaky wheels. And so you hear the gate starting to open and the little metal wheels squeaking on the other side of the property, near where you came in, but...
So is someone coming or someone leaving?
You didn't see either of the two cars that were parked here leave, so it's probably someone coming.
Okay. I'm nosy, so I kind of want to get in a spot where I can hide and see.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Do we have anything on the cookie counter yet?
No, it is completely clear.
Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
We don't get cookies, apparently.
You
Jimbo is
You got-
disappointed.
gotta
Wait a
fill the
moment.
clock, then you get the cookies.
Mm.
I just had a notion of where we might be.
All right, I'm hiding and peeking.
Yes. Do you want to do a survey or a study or something like that, or a target, since you know exactly where you're looking?
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
a target exactly where I'm looking.
All right. I'm gonna say risky standard.
Okay, I'm gonna willpower myself a little bit better
Okay.
for increased effect.
Okay. Risky greater effect.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Okay. Sorry, my computer's really slow today.
Hmm.
It's having a hard time changing to different chat channels.
Oh, damn. Nice. Okay. No negative consequences. You see a train of cars
Okay.
making their way up the driveway,
Oh.
and all parking with no concern for the fact that they've blocked in the original two cars. Yeah, so immediately you're like, oh, these people are all assholes. They've got me. But yeah, you see about 6 cars working their way up the driveway and stopping.
Do they have any identification markers?
They
Identifying
have New York license plates.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are relatively nice cars, though not as nice as the two that you saw when you first came in.
Okay.
You do notice also that the drones all line up on the driveway and illuminate the path as they're driving down.
Okay.
So
So it's the perfect time to run away.
could be.
Yeah.
Timbo is learning he really needs to learn alacrity.
Good job. I could hear that, but
Excuse
they
me.
couldn't. We are sharing a wall.
Yes. this is
Eventually,
where
there's
that
going to be a
was.
door here. But for now.
Yeah. Sorry, my allergies are so bad.
All right. So yes, these vehicles are coming in. making a bit of ruckus, it's definitely a good time to get away.
Yeah. Okay.
You did get what you came for.
Yeah,
Um,
Max is exhausted, so Max is down to leave.
So
And Cassandra really doesn't want any trouble at all. We've got the sibling. Let's
Mhm.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
We've
on
got a
the
sibling and a cat on this trip.
yes.
I feel
Timbo
like
just
I
is like
need-
thinking about giving a good old whistle to Baphomet. Come
Yeah.
carry us away.
I need to leave
Batham-
a mark.
What was that?
I need to leave some sort of mark.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe I would wait until everybody goes inside of the building and then just kind of hold out my spray paint can and run alongside all the cars and just make a line down
Is everybody cool with waiting and waiting until everybody makes it inside the building?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Timbo pulls out his popcorn.
All right. If you are all cool with it, I'm going to put 3 clocks on the cookie counter, 3 ticks on the cookie counter
Okay.
Cookies.
from waiting. So, all right.
Cookies are almost done, guys.
And I'm gonna make a 2-die fortune roll. There's a bunch of people here, and just to see if they all go inside on a low roll, or if any of them stay outside for any reason. Yes, 2 smokers stay outside, but everybody else has gone in. So, and that ended up being about 12.5 people in total. It looks like they were kind of packed into those 6 cars.
Wow.
You hear the gate start rolling back into a closed position. So now there's
My
only
first
2
one.
out. A minor distraction might be able to get you the time you need to leave a mark.
Yeah.
Timbo, you are the best at distractions.
Yeah, so I
I
was like,
wonder
yeah.
why.
I was thinking like, do I get really big again?
Interesting.
Well, size is always.
Or do I just yell sleep to everybody? I think Timbo's gonna sing everybody a big old giant lullaby.
Ooh. Awesome. There's only 2 left, so it shouldn't be too difficult.
Nah.
You won't even need to boost your power.
Yeah, like literally, he just pops an essence and just starts singing the Jigglypuff charm, and he's just like swaying back and forth and Jigglypuff. He's like, I remember this from back in the day, right?
Except instead of the poof on top of your head, yours is on your chest.
Yeah, I have my puff on my chest instead. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say that goes off without a hitch. You sing.
We're all just a little sleepy now. That's all.
You sing, and the 2 of them, one of them slumps back, and his cigarette, like he accidentally just jams it right into his chest, and the other one just sort of gets down on his knees and then kind of rolls over on his side and is sleeping on the pavement. So the one who burned himself dusts himself off and then goes and leans up against one of the cars and falls asleep there. All right.
That sounds very comfortable. Okay. Very good back issues in the morning. Be good.
I want to start at the far end from that guy. So
Okay.
his car that he's leaning against is the last one I come across. And then I'm going to leave the can of paint in his hand.
I like that. Okay. What would you like to use for that? There are a lot of drones around.
I guess. I want to do it fast, but I want to do it quiet at the same time.
Oh yeah, you can do fast and quiet with Prowl.
X needs alacrity.
Yeah. I would.
guess-
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll do a prowl, and
Okay.
I'll use up some more of my willpower and give myself an extra prowl die,
Okay.
so I
Gonna
can.
say
Yeah.
if you want to hit every one of the 6 cars, then it's going to be limited effect. If you want to tag the 3 cars that are closest to you and then deposit it in his hand, then you'd have standard effect.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. That's
Okay.
fine.
That's going to be risky.
Okay.
Give me them last ticks on the cookie clock.
Please.
All right, partial success. I think a couple of drones hear the spray paint sound
Yeah.
and start heading over in your direction. But by the time you've stuck the paint can in his hand and hidden, is when they come over the house and immediately scan him and see the paint can and sound an alarm.
Oh shit. Let's go, guys.
And I'm going to put one more counter on the cookie clock, so we are at 4 out of 6.
I want the cookies.
I don't think we're going to get cookies.
Yeah, I don't think we really want the cookies. I'm
I'm
starting to think the cookies are a bad thing.
I get this vague feeling that it's in reference to a certain celebrity.
Oh no, we do not want the cookies. Put those cookies back where they came from, or so help me.
All right.
Alrighty, let's
So
jump over the fence
currently,
and get out.
Jax is separated from the rest of you, but it's not going to be that hard to get to a exit. If you all want to get to the same exit, that'll be a little harder, but still not too hard.
We can do it.
Yeah, I'll do my best to get myself back over to where they're leaving. Even
The
if I'm a
drones
minute
seem
slow.
to be moving into a formation
Okay.
over the house.
Like a phalanx, or
They're kind of congregating over the central part of the house, the highest point. And then, yeah, they sort of grid out into like, what would it be? 4x3 grid. And then they start sort of slowly moving outward in all directions. From the center to the edges of the property.
Did we tell the cab to wait for us?
it's very hot, so
That sounds like a good flashback.
He said the meter running this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Timbo's willing to spend a couple willpower to flashback and be like, "Hey, how about you wait here?"
So flashbacks no longer take willpower.
Oh, yeah,
They
that's right.
use Coven Fate because your fate is all tied together with your Coven. So it increases the Coven's fate based on
I think that's a worthy cause.
Yes, we
on how
do need to be
probable.
out of here.
And I think that's an extremely probable thing. So I'm just gonna say 1 fate tick
Okay.
for that. Awesome. Yep, the SUV is still running and just situated right there on the around the perimeter waiting for you.
Alrighty, let's get over that fence.
You gonna just make a mad dash for it?
ram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Group
Power
action.
word run.
Power word alacrity. All right.
Timbo's so getting alacrity.
Everybody next time alacrity. Okay. What do you guys think? A spring?
Spring makes sense for speed, I think.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, like, I don't have anything in spring, but like,
Nice.
Timbo very reluctantly says, yeah. We could try
Alright.
to be finessing it too.
Who's leading?
I could lead this one. I mean,
One willpower. Okay.
yes.
Nice.
I can see how
And in-
Cassandra just wants to be out of here.
Yes, she always wants to be out there. Now, when I'm leading, can I also spend willpower to increase my die?
With like cosmic
I
powers,
just
or
meant
you
to
mean
spend
with?
like 2 willpower to
Yes.
get an extra die as well.
Yes,
Oh,
you can.
Making sure.
Yep.
Alright.
You can also. Everybody can take bargains to get an extra die as well.
I'm certainly doing 2 die because
need
I
a
have
bargain.
0 in spring, and we're not taking that lower die.
No, don't want to risk that. It's gonna fail.
All right, we have a fail from Cassandra, a partial success from Timbo,
I need a bargain.
a partial success from Max, and you want a bargain?
Uh-huh.
Let me scroll back up to the bargains. See if something jumps out at me.
Maybe I left well, I mean, I obviously did leave fingerprints on the can.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we could add 1 fate. We can say that they're savvy enough that they will run your fingerprints. They won't find out it's you, but they'll know that it was not the person that was left with the can.
They might see perhaps a few fingerprints on the fence itself.
Yeah, if they do a really thorough search. Let's do 1 coven fate.
Okay.
That'll give you an extra die. Right now we are at a partial success.
Sandra did not make it a second time again. Oh, well, there we go.
Hey, there we go. All right. So, Cassandra, you end up having to spend a 2nd willpower or a 4th willpower?
Yes, I spent 4 willpower.
Wow. To keep yourself from getting caught. But you managed to get behind a tree just as one of the drones is going past. After everybody else has kind of left you behind by about a dozen paces. You're like, I've got this, I'm leading. And then you end up at the back. But yeah, the 4 of you make it to the perimeter with Alan, and you can hear the sound of the car engine running on the other side. And you hear also the sound of music. Sounds like a vehicle approaching
The hills are alive.
that is playing some kind of jaunty tune.
I just want to get in the cab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Jaunty are we talking here?
I think we all just want to go home now. We're like, we're done with this.
I will look out the window at the car with the music.
Okay. Well, as you all jump over the fence and head over to the vehicle, you see the businessman inside has been having a very enlightening conversation with the AI that drives the cab. And they seem really into each other, like in a weird way. And you all jump in, and takes a look out of the back window, and you see coming up over a hill, you see a giant 6-foot tall cookie crest the hill. And then you see the rest of the truck that has the cookie on top. And the cookie truck drives right past the cab that you're in, and turns and goes into the property that you just escaped from.
They just order a cookie truck to bring them cookies?
Well, I mean,
I have a feeling it's like a Trojan cookie.
The Trojan cookie truck. I love that. Well, that's for next time then.
Oh no!
It rides all around the city from now on. We have to
Yeah.
avoid
We
it.
can all hear Timbo's stomach just growl.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna roll a fortune roll because even though this businessman is doing relatively well for himself, there is a chance that his card is running low on funds.
Oh no!
He gets a low funds alert, but he does have enough money to get you guys back into town.
Okay.
okay, but
Alright.
what if we decided instead to go to Boston?
We'll get you a 16th of the way there.
Let's just go home.
Yeah, we just go home.
All right.
Alan needs a nap.
Yep.
I think we all need to know.
After a long car ride, and with a very, very strange, awkward silence between the businessman and the AI, you make it back into midnight, pass through the barrier in which the city is draped in darkness once again, and eventually make your way on foot and via the subway back to your Covenstead, where you are able to recuperate with a drawing down the moon ritual, if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Necessary.
I have
No.
one willpower.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Turn.
and Timbo's excited for this one. I think I want to lead this one.
Nice.
So Timbo we're all back at the Covenstead, and Timbo's like, hey, you guys, it's been a while. And just gathers everybody, like, come on, let's all get under my arms. And he just starts swinging back and forth. And what's the song Timbo decides to sing? But when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. And literally, we all feel like the pressure of the moon hit our eyes. And for some reason, it relieves us. And it's amore.
That is so funny. I made the exact same joke on Twitter like a week ago. Well, Isabella did, and I jumped on and added, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a critical on drawing down the moon.
That's a crit. Yes.
All right. So if you
So
want to
we'll
roll
do-
that, is
Dean Martin's going to DMCA's.
exclamation
It's just
point
drawing down the moon, correct?
1 DDTM. Yeah.
Oh, with the 1 in front of it. Okay, I gotta do the
Yeah.
1.
I think you're tier 1.
Yeah.
Should do.
Yeah, we love.
Oh, my song was horrible. The Italian gods were very offended.
Off key. All right. Everyone restores 2 essence and 1 willpower.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man.
And
It was not a
Well, I know what my downtime action's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Or another option is to do Rest on Your Laurels, which is one of your lesser rituals that'll let you get back a lot more during this downtime. It gives all the factions an extra move, but it basically says we're going to take as much downtime as we need to heal ourselves a little bit better.
Oh, we're not at war, so it might be quite
Yeah.
reasonable to do.
Yeah, it should be worth it this time.
Yeah. And you'll get some news about what some of the other factions are up to when we come back
That's always
Ooh.
for
fun.
the next session.
Helps
Let's
motivate
fight.
us.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fantastic. You guys have some downtime actions to take, but we can do that next time.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of this die off the screen.
Indeed. Indubitably.
So we can see the lovely logo there. There it is. Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to remind everybody that, again, tonight's Witch's Dozen actual play was sponsored by Forged Gaming Company. They're an awesome dice retailer and wholesaler. They make mostly metal dice, but they do also make and sell resin dice. They are one of the many people we are talking to about potentially making our custom dice for the Kickstarter. So we're really, really excited about that. Yes, thank you, Han Sully, again, for... I'm glad you were able to make it. We appreciated your commentary.
It's always lovely to have you.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, just wanted to remind you, there's a link to the Ultimate Game Master screen on Kickstarter that they are working on. There's... let me see if I can find the link while everybody else is doing their outros. And I will try to find the link to their other page where they have this awesome video that shows you all about how this Ultimate Game Master screen works and all the different modular components. Andrea and I have done DIY Game Master screens for years. It was actually one of my first birthday presents from Andrea that she handmade was a GM screen. I think we were playing Werewolf at the time, yes. And it was fantastic. It was gorgeous and extremely useful. But what we can do with our own hands and what they've done with this Ultimate GM screen are two completely different things. It uses completely regular sheets of paper, so you can literally print out your own cheat sheets and charts and Game Master screen stuff and just plop it right up onto the Game Master screen. You can even print onto magnets that are 8.5 by 11 through any regular printer and just attach them right to the GM screen. So it's really, really cool. It has slots for initiative tracking along the top of the screen, and just all these magnetic doodads that you can add on to it. So you can make it as big and wide as you need it to be, stuff like that. It's fantastic. I can't wait for their Kickstarter to start so we can back it. But I will try to find a link to that while everybody else is telling you where you can find them online. Where they can find... No, I was right the first time.
Where we can find you.
Tell us where we can find you online.
Where I can find me.
Let's start with Morningstar. Ah!
Darlings.
You're duck.
Yes, let's start with me. Let's start with the duck.
What the duck was that?
You'll never know. I am Morningstar. I am a model and streamer. You can find me here on Twitch streaming random days of the week. I need to be much more consistent about it. We streamed today. We will be streaming again on Thursday at the Cytherian. Or if you prefer more static imagery, we have new content, our sort of editorial cosplay fashion photography comes out every Friday. We will have a marvelous new cosplay this week, which I'm very excited for. Absolutely silly as could be. And that is currently my dear Megan over there is working very hard on the edits for that, because they are a brilliant editor. Megan, darling, why don't you tell the people at home more about your editing?
Oh, well, what a lead up. Thank you. My commissions are currently open. You can find my website at seafoamworkshop.com. I have a Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well, but I spend most of my time doing edits, so I don't have really the opportunity to maintain those pages as much as I'd like right now. But like Morningstar said, every week I produce Morningstar content, and I'm hoping to release content of my own in the future. But in the meantime, commissions are open for anyone who's interested in anything from Twitch overlays to logos. business cards, anything anyone's interested in. So,
Or beautiful photographs like mine.
yes, absolutely.
And I think that everybody should follow Seafoam Workshop on every social media platform, regardless, because even though you don't post extremely often, when you do post, it is the best kind of treat to find in your timeline. So, yeah, thank you for all the stuff that
Quality
you
over
do.
quantity.
Yeah, they're always adorable. And there's the link to that video that I was telling everyone about. Let's hop to Andrea.
Yeah. So I'm Andrea, and I have been playing Jex this evening. You can find me at Wildwood Witch on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch. Although I have not done a stream since we have moved, but that is something that I want to remedy soon. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I've been posting a lot of pictures of our house in the Appalachian Mountains lately, and all the fun stuff we're going to be getting into in the woods. I'm very excited. So if you're interested in our mountain life with our pigs and hopefully soon chickens, then yeah, find me Wildwood Witch on Instagram, because that'll be the place I post the most.
Yeah, for sure. Azalin?
All right, and as always, I'm Azalin, and you can find me literally anywhere under Azalin. The most popular platform right now is Snapchat, especially if you really love some ganja. That's definitely going to be the place to follow. We're reviewing strains and getting into some terpenes and some deeper knowledge of the cannabis plant. So it's a good Snapchat to follow right now. But generally, if you can search Azalin, you will find me anywhere that you like to follow some chaotic, creative goodness.
Yep. Awesome. And I'm Gavin, the lore weaver for tonight. Andrea and I are co-authors of Witches of Midnight, which is currently in the notification stage of Kickstarter. And so you can find us there and give us a follow. We will have a really awesome Kickstarter campaign that will include the 22 grimoires that already exist within Witches of Midnight. And we are looking to make 6 more as stretch goals. You are the first people, aside from the people working on it, to hear that. So yeah, we will be working on 6 additional grimoires, the last of which was inspired by Morningstar. So we're really, really excited about that. That is going to be an absolute game changer. We have other developers working with us that are going to make those grimoires. You're going to get to see our game in the style of other developers. Maybe some that you've seen on this channel as guest stars in the past. So, yeah. We're really looking forward to that. We're working very, very hard on the game right now, getting it ready to go. And so, follow Midnight Kith, Kith, on Twitter. That will get us toward a Forged Dice giveaway, as well as joining our Kickstarter pre-launch, which does not cost you anything. If you have a Kickstarter account, you just hit notify me, and it'll send you an email when we're ready to go live. So you can get an early backer reward for people who order within the first 24 hours, which we have mock-ups of and that we've put in our Discord. And people are really, really excited about them. If you like that Powered by Witchcraft symbol right in the middle of the screen, you are definitely going to like the physical Kickstarter reward. So, anyway, join us on Discord and follow Midnight Kith and follow the Kickstarter, because when we get to 500 Midnight Kith followers and 500 Kickstarter followers, we'll be giving away a set of metal dice from Forged Gaming Company for each of those things. So 2 in total. And right now we only have 4 people that have done the requirements to get in on those. So your chances are extremely good. We're already over 300 follows on both. So we don't have that much room to have to grow before we're ready to give those away.
And these dice are awesome. We have several sets. And yeah, they roll so nice.
They do. You need a really nice table protector, though.
Solid.
They are heavy.
They're heavy.
Yeah. But we will, let's see. Isa will be running Witches of Midnight next week on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. The Void Coven. And then we will be back the week after that. So we'll be here every other week, and they'll be here every other week. And yeah. Sea Raven heading off to make another account on another place. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it so much. We love Kickstarter. I swear, every month we probably back 3 projects. And today I learned more about the Alchemy Virtual Tabletop, which we might be using in some future sessions. And we will probably have that as part of our Kickstarter that we will be available on that platform. So we're just waiting for some emails back. But potentially after the game is released, the game will be sold through their platform as well. So you can play it directly on their platform. And I've already done some art for it today, and even for me, I'm pretty proud of it. It looks really cool. So I can't wait for everybody to see that. So anyway, there is so much going on behind the scenes. I promise you, if you feel like there's nothing happening between sessions, come and join our Discord. And we're showing mock-ups in our private channels all the time. So like yesterday it was the pins, today it was mock-ups for the virtual tabletop, and it's really going to be all over the place. Normally we would do experience here, but I think we're running a hair long, so we will probably do XP off camera or in some other manner. But thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for all the subscriptions. I can't wait to make new emotes for us for the stream. I need to get everybody's familiars as emotes, because I had all the Night Sky Sanctum emotes, but now we need to go for Witch's Dozen. So yeah, that's coming up. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Ciao.